All right, welcome everyone. Richard's team Huddle. My gosh, we've had the summer off mostly. Hi, Callie. So good to see you. Um, and so this is our little regroup to, look at September. Kids are back in school for the most part. I think everybody's back in school. And vacations and just all the things. Summer tends to bring um, an inability for us to get a cadence with like team calls and stuff just because we're having fun with our family, which I think we should be. And there's not a ton going on in the business right now that's like, at first you might feel like me where I'm like, oh, that means something's wrong. And, I think we've become so efficient in terms of we have Monday night podcasts that are really good. They have really, really done a good job of making those something that when my clients listen to them, they're always very like, that was excellent. I loved the chiropractor. I loved learning fat burn science. I loved, so they're not just raw, raw, raw calls. I'd like to think that I helped shape that because when I started meeting with Jan and the group, which I meet with them every Tuesday, I was just sharing with them that we live in a world where there's a lot of influencers and people are just giving away information. You look at like Gary Brecka and Mark Hyman and just like all these influencers and Dave Asprey, and they're just giving away so Gabrielle Lyon, like nobody's like this with the data. They're basically doing free podcast, Instagram, reels, right? So if we're cryptic and we don't give value and we call ourselves health coaches, right? And we're in that world of people that are really giving it away and giving a tip every day and giving inspiration and all of that. I felt like our podcast couldn't afford to be like cheerleader type stuff because people can go on Instagram and get so much information. They can get a workout plan, they can get an eating plan, they can learn their macros. So it's just a different time than when we started as health coaches, if you really think about it. So that's been cool because they were like, you're right, we definitely, we want it to be upbeat, we want it to be encouraging, all that good stuff. But we do have the win calls for that, right? For the more, oh yay, let's celebrate wins, all that good stuff. And so maybe Monday night should be more equipping and more enlightening for people. So if you're really wondering kind of how my business is going, I have clients, I have people ordering, I have clients I check in with, just a handful. But all of my clients, when I talk to them, they know that their place of encouragement is the win call. Their Monday nights is education. The app has come a heck of a long way, letting them do tracking and the recipes. And gosh, the app is really detailed now. So the things that they used to ask us as coaches, everything from like changing their order, it's all on the app. So I feel like coaching is really easy, like super crazy easy. Our only task, in my opinion, is to put people on the right plan. And now it's not just 5-in-1. You got to have a good, healthy conversation with people around. I just had one today where she's been on plan like 4 times, and she doesn't want to do the 5-in-1. And she's midlife and she's got a whole bunch of different things she's into. And we're not doing the 5-in-1. And we're going to look at things much bigger for her, like muscle and all the things. So it's really nice to not be boxed in to that conversation. And so that's really why we don't need to meet as a team all the time. I think once a month is actually great. Because it's kind of our coming together, and you're either going to go to the places to get the help that you need. Like I love this challenge that's going on. You've got 28 days. It started September 1st. It's a mind and body challenge. It's great. I personally am not doing it this time. It just wasn't my timing with some stuff that I have going on. But I think it's wonderful. They're going to keep doing those. So you always have something that you can invite people to get into and do the challenge with them. So really our business is plug and play at this point, and you might have a conversation. I do check-ins about every 2 weeks with my clients. I have one that likes to talk weekly, and that's great. But I keep it to like 10-15 minutes. And it's just, I'm very happy with what we have for clients right now. So if I wanted to grow my business, I know how to grow my business. I have to start adding more value on social media, starting more conversations, and doing more health assessments that lead to orders. So I think we all know how to do that. If you don't want new clients, then you don't post value and you just wait for them to call you, right? And that's a personal choice. You can do that too. I have found that when we lead with our health, we automatically get more clients because people say things like, damn, you look good, your legs look good, ooh, I like that, what gym is that, it's gonna create dialogue because you become a product of the product. So with that, I've killed a little time to let everybody jump in, but that's what I'm thinking as we get together at the top of the month and work on a skill. I do have a lot of skills that I would love us to work on to be better. Like I said, go back to the point that all the health coaches that are out there are pretty damn good, and they're on Instagram and they're giving it away. So that's our competition, if you will. But they don't have what we have. They can't put someone in a program, give them everything they need, plug and play, and make it easy and affordable. That is not out there, because those people, they charge a lot of money and their programs are very encumbersome. And so that's where, if you're looking, well, how do I set myself apart from all these influencers if I want to attract some new clients? You're going to have to add simplistic value and start conversations, right? So that hasn't changed about our business. You'll have to lead with your health because they'll want to be inspired by what they're seeing in you. And it's your witness more than what you know that is going to lead them, to sign up. So my questions I have for everyone tonight, I'd like you guys to just kind of jot these down. And we're going to talk about them a little bit. And then we will answer any questions that you guys have and figure out if you need mentor time, if you just need a conversation with me around, hey, I do want to grow my business. I think I want to start by reaching out to a lot of my old clients. I mean, for me, just God's honest truth, if I just went with all my deactivated coaches clients, I got another one today, this long, of clients I need to reach out to. I could grow my business back to a really good place if I just contacted everyone who's not coaching anymore. Okay. So that is probably what Rachel's going to do for the next 4 months. I'm literally going to farm all of my clients and all of my coaches that no longer coach clients. And I'm going to try to add more value to these people's lives than they've ever had at Optavia. That's what I do when I work with someone, is I try to give them excellent service. And that leads to referrals. And that's probably how I'm going to grow my business. So you get to decide on your end, what you want to do. So let's talk about some questions, and then we'll make it super interactive. My monologue is over. I want to know what's next for you in your health and in your well-being, okay? Because you're on this call because you're still a client, you're a coach that leads with their health. So what's next for you in your health and in your well-being? That's my first question. If you could take some time and write that down on your phone or on a piece of paper, that would be great. And I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes for each question. If you want to shut your camera off, you can if you think better without looking at people. So what's next for you in your health and well-being? We're going to kind of go around and share these with each other so we can all spray each other on. And I kind of go out of order here. Continue to write, but if you're like, yep, I wrote mine. Then the next question I have is, what excuse are you using to stay comfortable? This also could be called a BS story. I always love to ask my clients, give me a running dialogue of your greatest BS story that you tell yourself, and now I want you to tell it to me. And it's a really fun thing to do with clients. It's called a working, just give me a working dialogue. I don't want them to clean it up. I don't want them to make it nice. If they cuss, they cuss. I don't care. I want to know what BS story are they telling themselves and others. And what's profound is people know their BS story. I think that's so cool. But basically, to stay comfortable, to stay in the algorithm of their life. That we create algorithms. We keep attracting the same old problems, the same old people, the same old situations until we get sick and tired of it and can see it and change it. So I'm just curious, what's your BS story that you use to stay comfortable, to stay small, to stay powerless when you have a deep desire to be powerful? Everybody has a deep desire to be powerful and to have sovereignty, freedom, right? But we get in our own way. So let me know a little bit of that. The next one is, what's next for me in my mission of helping other people? So if you're here, I'm assuming you still want to help people. So what's next? What do you feel like you need, whether it's a soft skill, a hard skill? Maybe it's more time in the day, maybe it's but what's next? What's the next thing you want to do when you think about helping other people? And the last thing, and that could be a monetary thing, by the way. You could say, I don't know how it looks, but I need to make another $1,000 right now. Then that's a start. That's something. I could work with that. It might just be a number. Don't be afraid. Like, you're not going to get the number without helping someone. So if you're like, yeah, I need $1,500 a month because I like to shop and I can't do that right now, or I like to take vacations and it's a little tight, that's fine. You know, if it's monetary, it's monetary. Last one is, this is a good one. I want you to really think about this. Each one of you has this unique gift that you were given to be on this mission. And everybody's is different. It could be similar, but you have something unique in you that uniquely qualifies you to help other people. And I want to know what you think that is. Or maybe it's just one of your gifts in life, period, and you don't even know how it helps people on this mission, but it's just one of your gifts. Maybe you're very compassionate, or maybe you tell the truth really well in a way where people can take it. Or maybe you're creative and you help them have creative ways to overcome their BS stories. I don't know. Maybe you can be counted on, you're punctual and reliable. Who knows? But you know. Okay, so as you're still writing, if anybody wants to take a stab for the first one, what is next for me in my health and in my well-being? Who wants to answer that?
I'll answer it.
Okay.
So I kind of just did a video on it and put it on social media.
I saw that. It was very good.
I was gonna do a go live. I don't know how to do that on Instagram because I'm using Instagram more, so I'm learning. For me, I really go off of my SECA scans, my body scans. That's where I get my goals. That's where I get my what's next. That's where I reset from. And so for me, it is continuing to strength, toning, being consistent in my routine. Um, sh in that sharing value, like especially when I'm in the gym, I'm having really good conversations with people about like what am I doing? It's not like, oh, I'm an Optavia coach and you know, I want to get away from that diet part of it. And one of the things that I'm really working on now is now my nutrition. Because what I found when I did my metabolic testing is I don't have enough calorie intake. My calories are still calorie deficit intake, and I don't need that anymore. But that's where my brain is. So, like what we were talking about before, having that new program, it's like I need a new nutritional program to suit that. So, I have more calories now on my Fitness Pal, and so now it's getting in more fiber, which is I actually just like Googled how do we get in more fiber? Like what vegetables should I be eating? And just like really rethinking how I am eating.
Yeah.
And that's probably the
Why
biggest
are,
thing.
why are you chasing more fiber?
Well, I know I don't get enough. I
Yes.
I don't. And so I just like having ideas, like looking at recipes. Like you said, people posting thing on Instagram or Reels, they're showing some really good, really interesting choices of meals, and I tend to just be really boring. So I want to broaden that of like how I eat and not necessarily, I use the feelings, and I think I know that I tend to use them more than I should just bring in some more whole food because I want that. I want a little more whole food. And so that's what I'm going to be working on, and then see what my scans say when I get back. And I added more protein. So I added more protein after this after the body scan and after the metabolic testing that I did, because I was really bringing in, let me see if she'll let me look at this. I'm bringing in, I was having about 1370, 13, like 1300, between 1300, 350, and that's basically my minimum number of calories if resting.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing all this other stuff and I want to support that. I don't want so it's getting that mindset off of calorie deficit thinking when I'm eating and more for nutrition for my body.
Yeah. So good. Um, so just a couple things to maybe tuck into because you're going to start living this out loud is sometimes we as coaches will go like, I'm going to focus on fiber and then we'll do like one post on it. And then we're off of that thinking that it might be boring for them to see how is this lady going to hit her fiber goals every day? And is she, going to show me how I could do it too? And so probably one of the strongest, when you think about how you can get healthy with Optavia, Optavia has done a hell of a job with fiber and protein. like, like I don't think we appreciate it. I know we don't appreciate it because you'd have to really stop and start grabbing everything else from the grocery store and looking at like, how am I going to get to 26 grams minimum of fiber as a female? And how am I going to get at least zero point 0.8 of my healthy weight, right, in protein? And if I don't hit that protein number, then if I'm in a weight loss phase, then I could bet big money I'm losing muscle. And if I lose muscle, I am going to be on a diet forever. Forever, because there is no way to burn fat without muscle. There is no way. So you will have to enlist in a diet forever, in a caloric deficit forever. And that's just a really rough way to live. That's not a powerful way to live, right? Where you get to have this variety of things. So Optavia is beautiful in fiber and protein. A lot of people are struggling with, hey, Michelle, how do I get my fiber? And so even if every day in your story you were like success and you had the everything bagel bar 14, two of my meals, 8 and 8, 16, nailed it. Like they're gonna start to go, what's that bar? What's that thing? What's that shake that has all that fiber? How are we getting 10 grams of fiber in a shake or whatever with the Ascend, right? So that's good. That's good because you're able to provide value and you're also able to hit your own goals. And that's how we started our business, and that's how our business will always be. It's just a matter of us living out loud for other people. Also, fiber controls blood sugar, so it gives you the ability to eat more food because it actually controls your blood sugar. And that's why Optavia is so good at giving us fiber, because they're keeping our blood sugar stable.
Yeah.
So
They
yeah,
mentioned that in the, because I'm doing the 28-day challenge. I mean, I'm doing it for myself, kind of resetting, using it too. And I have a few clients that have joined me, and that's what they're actually talking about right now.
yeah.
They mentioned that on the lesson that I did today. Was it today or yesterday? Because my internet was out, so I was catching up. And they talk about that, exactly what you're just saying.
The next Monday night call is going to be amazing. Amazing, amazing. I suggest everybody get on it. Let me just check something. It for Jared, I love Jared. He's very good, very empowering. Uh, Actually, no, sorry. The 22nd of September is Metabolic Mastery. So you can start marketing this now because we know that we can't tell clients the day before the call, right? And it's going to be good. We talked about it today. It's like, how do I have metabolic mastery, right? So it's going to be a really good podcast. You're going to want to send it off to people. And because if you can master your metabolic function, then you're a boss, like you are. Because it's made up of hormones, it's made up of so many things, right, that we have to learn. So that's awesome. All right, anybody else? Let's have at least one more person tell us the first question, and then we're going to bounce around a little. What's next for you in your health and well-being at this point? Anybody else want to share that question?
Hi, everybody. I will. Oh,
Hi,
sorry,
Monica.
Callie. Go ahead.
You can go ahead, Monica.
Okay. Um, Long time no see.
Yeah. How are you?
Okay, so what's next for me? Let's see. The 40 pounds that I put back on, plus the 40 I never got off the first time around. So that's what's next for me.
Okay.
Fortunately, I didn't gain it all back, but I did gain back almost half of it.
Okay. Can I ask some questions for learning, because you were
Sure.
sort of one of our guinea pigs for the shot. Okay. So,
hmm
talk to me about the shot in relation to, okay, yeah, how did it help you? Did it stall out? Did it, like, talk to me about the shot because I'm just really
Sure.
curious. Yeah.
Okay, so when I first started, I could definitely feel the difference or the effect in quieting the food noise, for sure. That helped. I never really, I still don't, my issue has never been hunger, it's been appetite. Okay, so it's always been in my head. So I don't think I really noticed a difference in not feeling hungry,
Mhm.
but I wasn't always thinking about food. I was not a good user of I was not a good consistent user of the shot. In fact, there's still, I, I don't even know, 3 months worth in my refrigerator.
Okay.
So, so I was not a good consistent user of it. I'd go on a vacation and not take them with me, and then I'd start it over. And so I wasn't great with them. But at that very first, at the very beginning, probably for a month or so, I was consistent, and I did hear that quieting. Then it started to wane, and I felt like I needed to up it, and I wasn't real excited about upping, and so I haven't done them in many months,
Okay.
many months.
So my something for you to think about, something for you guys to think about with your clients too. And I always ask my clients this when we re-engage is if there was not a problem to solve, there's not. So right now we're not, I need to lose 80 pounds. That's a problem, right? There, okay, so there's no problem to solve. What would you create? If we didn't, because when we look at it in a mindset of, I have to fix this problem, right? Then automatically what happens in the brain is a lot of funky stuff. And versus this creation model of, from this moment, I'd like to create this in my life. I'd like to create this in my health. I'd like to create a body that looks like this. I'd like to create this by my birthday and this by Christmas. So it's a creation model, right? It's different, and a whole different set of creative ideas come out when you don't say it's a problem, right? And you're not, I don't even get the feeling that you're saying it's a problem. I have this feeling that you're like optimistic about it, and that you're like, yeah, it's time to create something. It's time, right? But it's not
Right.
a problem, and I'm not a problem, and food's not a problem, and calories are not a problem. Because if I look at it all like that, then I'm back in that algorithm of my life that it's like a Taurus. Like you just keep getting whipped around, right? And basically what you're saying is, I'm going to interrupt the Taurus by creating something new and using all my energy to create instead of to solve a problem. Does that make sense?
It definitely makes sense. It's a good reminder for me because I am by nature a problem solver.
Okay.
That is that's what I do. Put a problem in front of me. Sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut when somebody else has a problem, and I want to go, wait, we could try this. Oh, hold on, this is okay. So
Yeah.
that's me. So that's a good reminder for me to approach it that way and come back to that. What I want to create is that ability as I age to continue going and doing and having fun and hiking and going to waterfalls and going with my grandkids, and that ability to continue to enjoy and live life is what I want to create, instead of creating a situation where it's difficult for me to get off the couch, or when I first started this whole thing, where I was winded getting positioned in bed when I started this 3 years ago. I don't want to create that situation.
Yeah. And you're a natural born problem solver, but you're also creative, because I've seen it. So you're creative. And so all I want to give you for tonight is, I think I'm going to use my creation that I have. I'm very creative to create something new in my life that I've never beheld, right? I don't know. It'll be new. It'll be exciting. And also I'm curious as to how these algorithms and these things in my life that I kind of keep doing this with, right? I'm also willing to let that part of me die. Like there's something that has to be put to death there. Like, and that's really something that I'm working on in a training that I hope to give you guys more of, is like, sometimes we dance with something that needs to die. Like that needs to die. That is not a part of my future. That old man, right? Like, the Bible refers to it like old man needs to die and something new needs to be born. And it's true. And I have struggled with certain behaviors in my life. And the growth coach that I'm working with, she's amazing. She said, that part of you has to die. Are you okay with that? And I'm like, well, what are we talking about? She's like, it's not a physical death, but you have to put it to death and grieve it, because that part of you that that part of you has to die, because you're saying you want to behold this and this and this, right? And I do, but this part has to die. So that's where you guys get to do a little bit of work tonight mentally and over this week, is like, what would that even look like if that part of me died? I would have some grief, because there's some comfort of going and doing these things. And that part of me would die, because this part of me over here is going to look at food and say, is this a powerful meal? Is this going to help me not be a sideline, Mimi? What am I about to put in my mouth? Because it has to be powerful, because I'm becoming powerful. So if this food is not powerful, I can't have that. I don't want to have that because that doesn't lead me to power, right? So it's just a lot of working on, refreshing that mindset, and obviously getting through a detox, um, meaning we have to get off sugar because it's a drug, so all that good stuff. Okay, I thank you so much for sharing all of that. I would love someone who's super brave to tell me what BS story are you telling yourself. That would be a good one. What do you guys think? Who's going to go?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
I'm tired. I'm tired. That's the story I tell myself. I'm tired.
Oh, I thought you were too tired to tell me your BS.
No, I'm telling my story.
Okay, so I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Okay, what is that? When is that happening? When it's time to go get steps in? Like when is that happening?
I'd say all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get my steps in and I'm intentional, but like, I don't have any trouble going for walks. I don't have any trouble like doing any of that. But like when it comes to like going and doing it on the treadmill or girl, I tell you, I can't stand weights. That's why I want the reformer. Because I'm like the stuff in there, I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. But if you tell me, oh, let's go for a walk, I can walk. I'm not kidding. I can walk from 7 in the morning till 7 p.m. I'll never get tired of walking. I'm a cardio person. So I'm just like, so that's the story I'm telling myself. I'm tired. I mean, I really am tired, but not too tired. That's a story.
Yeah, that's good. You're tired, so that also would need planned rest. So that way we've removed the excuse of I'm tired because you're planning some rest, right? So you're saying I'm willing in order to not be tired so I can go up to the gym and do the reformer or do cardio. At the end of the day, just like we tell our clients, you have to do what you do to move that's fun. So if that's not fun for you to do weights, we wouldn't start with that because it's what you can nail. Just like Dr. A says, hey, do the one push-up. And they're like, really, one? Yeah, because we're going to learn to do this one installation, right? So for you, if you love
I feel like
Pilates, I say do it, girl.
I just feel like it's therapeutic. It's how I deal with a lot of things. If I need a break from something other than my coloring, you can see me coloring.
Yeah.
But like, that's how I deal with things. I go walking. I can walk. I think that's why I walk myself. It's how I dealt with my mom's death. It's how I deal with stress. I walk. Where most people like to go throw weights around, I just don't like to do that. That's why sorry you can hear Judah. I think that's why I would enjoy the reformer because that's something, I don't know, it doesn't look like exercise to me. I don't know. I think it's a story I'm telling myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, you can build muscle on the reformer. You just have to be more diligent with it because it's just your own body weight. But I say whatever you're going to do that's going to make you strong, because walking is definitely going to make us strong, especially if you put a weighted vest on. You go through, it's hard to get hills. But I don't see anything wrong with embracing what it is that you like to do with movement. The only thing is, as we get older, we have to have school, right? Or we just gonna have to be on a diet all the time. And I'm just so that's my thing. Is like, what's next in my health, right? Is what I've been up to for like the last 6 months. Is just a really strong, lean body. A really strong, lean body because I like to eat. I love food. I like my food to be colorful, vibrant, enjoyable, healing, powerful. And I don't want to have to eat just a little bit of food,
I feel like I have the food part under. Honestly, I think for so long I used food as my crutch. I'm over the food thing. Like I don't feel connected to it like I did for a while where it was like the abuse.
Yes.
Not anymore. So
that's good.
I don't know.
That's just right there.
Girl, it is. But I'm muting because I know you can hear my family. I'm sorry.
Okay. So thank you guys so much. We're going to wind up the call, but I would love to hear from someone I haven't heard from. What unique gift do I have for this mission of health? I would love to hear from someone on that. Or if someone else is like, wait, I want to tell on myself and tell you my BS story. That would be awesome. Anybody want to? We got like 5 more minutes, so I would really love to hear from either Callie or let's see.
Callie, if you're not going to talk, you're going to make me talk again. Are you going to talk finally?
Yeah, I could tell you my BS story. Mine is still kind of what it's been, is my job, my full-time job, just causing too much stress and busyness. I feel like I'm dedicating like all of myself to that. I work, my scheduled hours are 6 to 2:30. Someone's here helping me with Kaylin during that time. I get off work at 2:30. She waits all day. I get her down for a nap around like 3:30 by the time she falls asleep. Get right back on, continue working till she wakes up. And then usually I'm trying to help with dinner, or Brandon comes home and helps with dinner, and then get her down for bed. And then I'm back on late hours of the night as soon as I get down from bed, her to bed, back on the computer working late, like 12, 1 o'clock, and then back working at 6 a.m. So I'm just like, that's kind of my perpetual excuse. But I feel like for everything, like house chores, like me being able to spend quality, like good time with Kaylin, I'm feeling guilty because of that. And then, yeah, just food, not being able to meal prep or even eat my 6 times a day like I should. Sometimes I'm back to not eating for long periods again. So just kind of, yeah, neglecting me and my health for this stupid job.
Yeah, it that job sounds anti-health to me.
Yeah.
You know, if you were my daughter, I'd say, when are we gonna find a new job? You know, because that seems, it's not a BS story. The job is actually taking a little more than its share, right, from a healthy wheel of life. But it sounds like it's providing, and so sometimes we're in those seasons. But have you thought about looking for a new job that would give you more work home life balance and ability to do coaching if you want, momming more, stuff like that?
Yeah, I've been on Indeed. I just recently updated my resume because I do have my bachelor's and master's in public health. So I've been wanting to like use that and get more in like the health promotion field. So I kind of used Chat GPT to help me update my resume to make my experience, because I have 10 years of healthcare experience, but it's with this appeals and grievances, which isn't really public health related. So all the things I've been applying to, I've gotten nothing. So I asked Chat GPT to help me make it more transferable so it sounds more public health related. So then, yeah, I've still been
Plus
applying to a
you
bunch of
own a health
things.
coaching company, and
Yes.
you work in all the life force principles of health and well-being and behavioral and the science of transformation, structured tension, all kinds of things. I might use my Optavia business more than anything to really explain to people communal health, all the things that we do to really have transformation, right, with people that are willing and ready. So don't be shy of, like, sometimes we put this little, oh, that's not a little, you know, a little Optavia thing. Nobody's going to take that seriously. But when you think about what we've done here and the lives that we've changed, I've never seen that in healthcare. I can tell you that. Like, I've never seen that in healthcare ever. I've seen people be managed, symptoms, and all that good stuff. But the kind of healing that we have seen here, when you think about just name after name, just keeps popping in my head. Someone had prostate cancer. They don't have it anymore. Why? Because they got all the information down, and diabetic, no longer diabetic. And so when you think about the work we do here, I might elevate that in your search and don't downplay it, that you own a health and transformation company part-time, and you also have a full-time thing, you know? Just something to think about. We'll all be praying for you. Sounds to me like, honestly, I mean, I would I would definitely not forsake my health coaching business altogether, because it's where you're going to grow and all these skills and everything. But also, this may not be your season to grow the heck out of your business, because your day job is taking so much that it's hard for you to maintain your health and well-being and your home balance and everything like that. So it doesn't even sound like an excuse. It's a valid thing when I hear how many hours you're working and all the times you have to log back in because you're trying to balance mommyhood with it and not take from her. So now you're staying up till midnight, 1, and all that. So definitely, if you want to book some mentor time, I'd be more than happy to help you. But for now, I'm going to be praying for you to find a new job that will let you have more health so that you can really walk that out and not feel so stressed by it, because that's a lot, Kelly. Don't you guys agree that that is an awful lot for a mama? The cool thing is, as busy as you are, if someone comes along and they need to get healthy, you can totally help them with the app. They need to commit to their growth and development if they don't want to diet and re-diet. Monday night calls, podcasts whenever they want. Check in about every 2 weeks with them. I don't tell anyone now, like, we're going to talk every week. And I don't even know what to talk to them about every week, to be honest with you, because my every other week check in is so meaty and valuable that they're good. And they're like, if I need you, I'll let you know. But they have the app, they have the win calls, they have the Monday night podcast. They have everything they need, and then me every 2 weeks to bounce it off, get measurements, talk about if they're stalling out, making pivots, adding more protein, adding more exercise. So the cool thing is they're not going to take a lot of your time. If you do have someone, you might need every other Saturday, like for a couple hours to do check-ins. But for now, I wouldn't stress on, dang it, I need to grow my business, because it does sound like we need to do some triage for you first. So thank you guys for your honesty. Thanks for tuning in. As of right now, we are just going to talk once a month. But if you're like, nope, I need more than that, that's as a group, right? If you need mentor time and you want just coaching and this type of coaching to take back to your clients and ask them, hey, what's your BS story? And on our check-in today, I want you to out yourself. Then I'm more than willing to have mentor time with anybody that asks. So I have the bandwidth to do that. Usually Thursdays or Fridays is when I do mentor time, and I'm available. So thank you guys. I hope it was good for you to stretch your minds and hear some honesty, and it was good for me. So thank you very much for your generosity and being authentic. Take care.